What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Burlington Beer Company, and they are out of Burlington, Vermont, and this is their raspberry whale cake. So they're calling this one a raspberry cream ale that comes in at 5% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 7 weeks old. So I've been saying this recently about a lot of breweries, but it's been quite a while since I've reviewed a beer from Burlington. In fact, it's been about 3.5 years or so. I think the last time I reviewed a beer from them was back in early 2019, and all the beers I reviewed from them have been hop forward. So I wanted to do something and not hop forward. So I saw this one show up recently, and I remember their strawberry whale cake got distro here plenty of times. I just never picked it up. They have a couple other within the series. That they have a watermelon one. I think they have like a blueberry version as well. But I saw this one. I was like, you know what? A raspberry cream ale sounds pretty damn delicious. So they are brewing a normal cream ale with corn and whatnot, and then they are also brewing it with raspberry. So let's crack this open, get it into the glass, and see what we got going on. I thought this would be like a perfect, summer crusher of a beer, right? Like it should, and they're brewing it with real raspberry, so it should have some kind of reddish pinkish tint to it, and it totally does. So that's always nice to see. Do something like that. Now, the thing is, a lot of times when there's stuff introduced into cream ales, it doesn't always work. I've had quite a few cream ales that have had a bunch of different adjuncts or fruits in it. Sometimes it just doesn't work, but hopefully it does here. So yeah, that's beautiful. In person, it looks kind of like a strawberry starburst, like that kind of color. On camera, it might be a little bit darker, but yeah, it has this pinkish, almost reddish color, about a finger of an off-white with like slight pinkish tinges to it. Looks very creamy. It's murky, it's hazy, you can't see through it. The turbidity through the roof, daddy. Dusty roads, it just sneaks up on you sometimes. Anyway, let's get a nose. Wow, it smells pretty good. So to me, the first thing that I notice is that I spilled a little bit on the table. That's the first thing I noticed. No, but the first thing I noticed is the raspberries. They're slightly sweet, but more of like a tart kind of raspberry. Am I been saying strawberries or raspberries? It's raspberries, Joe. It's fucking raspberries. Raspberries. Yeah, they're slightly sweet, more of like almost an under-ripened kind of raspberry, where it's a little bit more tart and not as sweet. Almost get like a seedy sensation, like when you bite into a raspberry, that kind of feeling. But in the nose, kind of weird, aroma-wise. Underneath it, am I getting a cream ale? I'm getting generic beer, so I guess cream ale would fit the bill. Not really getting any corny sensation. Maybe a slight, like, grainy kind of malt character. Almost seems to be a touch of vanilla. They are not using lactose in this at all. Like, no cream ales do not have lactose in them. Well, normal cream ales, I should say. Yeah, it just smells like a low ABV raspberry beer of some sort. If you handed me this and was like, smell it, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's like a nice raspberry wheat or something, right? It's not all that complex, but again, I picked this one up because I thought it would be great for the summer. Here we are in the middle of August, by the time you see this review anyway, and yeah, it just smells really good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. So I'll tell you what, the body and mouthfeel on this is fucking superb for 5%. Holy shit. Body's like medium, a touch over at 5%. It's a little bit thicker and has more heft behind it than I would assume for a 5% cream ale. The mouthfeel, there's carbonation, so it has that crispy kind of feeling on this on the tongue. But man, on the finish, there's a little bit of a creaminess, but really smooth kind of finish to this. So the body and mouthfeel are really nice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, after like 3-4 sips, it's the best part about this beer. Why? The taste isn't anything amazing, and I didn't think it was going to be. It's a cream ale with raspberries, and that's pretty much what this is. First thing I noticed on the tip of my tongue is that raspberry. Again, it's more of like a tart raspberry as opposed to sweet. There's a little bit of sweetness from the raspberry, but it's more tart. Almost like a slight tannic feel to it. As it passes through, the beer properties come in. There's a grainy kind of malt sensation, a touch of that corn, but it's not real big. Maybe even like a slight like lemon zest. But the raspberry character is kind of omnipresent everywhere. Kind of ramps up on the back of the palate too, and it gets a little bit more sweet. This has a semi-dry finish, a very, very mild bitterness. yeah, it's a fucking summer crusher. That's what this is. I mean, I didn't buy this one thinking I was going to be blown away by it, screaming from the rooftops about like, oh my God, this is the best beer I've ever had. I didn't think that going. What I thought is that this would be a great raspberry beer to have poolside, while you're cooking on the grill, something just to throw down with a nice raspberry flavor. And that's exactly what this is. 5%, you can't taste it. And yeah, I'm not going to sit here and talk about it much more. It's pretty well balanced. If you like raspberries and you like cream ales, you could do a lot worse than this one, to be honest with you. It's really nice. The raspberry character is there. The cream ale you get maybe a little bit more. Well, the one critique to this one would be a little bit more of that cream ale. But outside of that, not anything really bad about this one. It's not too sweet. There's a little bit of like an acidic kind of feel too, but it's not too tart. Yeah, because this isn't a sour, I don't feel like I'm going to have heartburn after I drink that entire glass. So, Raspberry Whale Cake, the raspberry cream ale from Burlington. I have no problems giving this a solid, we're going to go 4 out of 5. Not going to go much higher or lower. I think it's just a 4 out of 5. Why? It is what it is. It's a raspberry cream ale. That's what I'm tasting, and there's not much more to say about it. Think 4 packs of this in my area are anywhere between like 14 to 16 bucks. I think I paid like 3 something, high 3s for that can. I think maybe like $3.79 or something. A little pricey for a 5% raspberry cream ale, but at the same time, they're clearly using raspberries in this quite a bit anyway. And yeah, it's not a bad price, not the greatest. So, and your mileage may vary depending on where you live. That's the price point here in the Western New York area. The availability, I don't know with Burlington. I know that we get them here in the Western New York area, so more specifically Buffalo and Rochester. Obviously, they probably get distro throughout the New England area, Mid-Atlantic, maybe a little bit down the East Coast, who knows. But if you see Burlington stuff and you are not in the Northeast, we'll say, let me know. I'd be curious to know if this makes it to like the Midwest or even out West here in the U.S. because I think Burlington makes good beer. And I'm going to pick up more from them and review them over the next couple months, I think, because, it's been a while since I've had some of their stuff. And yeah, this is pretty good. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. Again, post in the comment section if you've had this beer or if you had strawberry whale cake. We've got some sirens going on, so we're going to shut this down. They're coming to get me because this is the worst beer review known to man, right? So, I don't belong here on YouTube, do I? Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.